and welcome to Blue Jays Today. We're your boys. We always got something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog. And today, guys, we got to talk about a Toronto Blue Jays roster move, a potential injury going on with Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and the Toronto Blue Jays magic number revealed. Postseason on the horizon, everybody. We got to know what we got to do to get there. Let's kick things off with this roster move. Cam Eden, outfielder, has been selected to the Major League roster and will be active for tonight's game. This is being released on Thursday, so they're referencing Wednesday's game. Infielder, Ernie Clement, he's been sent down to AAA, and infielder Mason McCoy, he's been designated for assignment. I swear to God, we didn't even really see Mason McCoy at all.
And there was a moment when we were like, why isn't Mason McCoy pinch running here for that Kirk kind of sack fly, if you remember that?
Yeah, we just didn't use him at all, but it is what it is. Cam Eden is up, and we're kind of referencing this as a little bit of a sneaky good move.
Yeah.
What do you think about Cam Eden getting brought up to the Toronto Blue Jays in this late season, postseason push?
Well, if you've been following any Blue Jays, sports analysts or the Blue Jays themselves, you've been hearing the narrative that this guy can steal bases.
Mm-hmm.
Down in AAA Buffalo, he had 53 stolen bases in 131 games. Dude's looking like a Ronald Acuna Jr. with his legs out there in AAA.
And let me just add on to that. That was in 57 attempps too.
That's crazy. So
barely getting thrown out at all.
Very, very good from Cam Eden. And, for me, I mean, you brought this up right here, how the Blue Jays, we're not really that good at stealing bases. And here's the thing, too. It's not even that we're not that good. It's that we also don't really attempt that much at stealing bases because we're under the management of John Schneider.
Yes.
And so that's why we don't really do this in this new wave of game. We got the White Sox, the Tigers, we got the Rangers down there, but they're, they don't really steal that much. They got a lot of big boppers. Cardinals. We got teams that are really not competing that well amongst them. We got to be up here with the teams that are exciting and young and youthful. Like that's what it's supposed to be. But maybe this adds a little bit more of a speed element. What's your thoughts, kind of on that narrative?
I think it's great, man. I think that it is the right decision, and I think that Toronto Blue Jays fans and this team as a whole needs to recognize that if we make postseason, we're not walking in as the favorites, right? Like we're not walking in as Baltimore and as Atlanta. We have to play a different game to our strengths, and our strength this entire season long has been the pitching and it's been the defense, which I might add that Eden over here is very good at, very good defensively as well, right? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, if our strength is pitching and it is defense, we might only win some games 3-2, 4-3. We got to play some aggressive and some risky and some small ball baseball because we just don't have that pop going on, right? We're not smacking home runs left, right, and center like freaking the Atlanta Braves with, Ronald Acuna Jr. and Matt Olson and all of those guys. We got to play a different brand of baseball, and I think that this brings that, not to mention the whole fact that, like, we kind of suck at running the bases in general.
Yeah, we made a lot of base running errors. I think we have one of the most in the major leagues of runners thrown out on the base. And most of that is because we're trying to stretch singles into doubles and making dumb errors on the bases. But I also kind of remember, like, this kind of feels like a move back in 2015 when we brought up Dalton Pompey. Shout out, now he's a police officer in the GTA region, so shout out to him. You can't outrun that guy. No, that's for sure. He's got wheels. We knew that. But he's kind of reminding me of that kind of player, a specific pinch runner, if you will. That's his position. In the late innings, you get Kirk on. Sorry, Kirk. We don't need your bat anymore right now. We need some new fresh legs. Cam Eden, maybe he steals a bag. And then, hey, you can probably pinch run in like the 6th or the 5th, get a little bit aggressive rather than waiting to the 8th and 9th. Hopefully, John Schneider, hopefully you do that, because then you can put him in a defense and you can play some defense. I think it's a good move for these Blue Jays to get him accustomed to their roster, to how they manage, to how they play, and to get him into that situation and get him into that mindset.
Yeah, and I love what you just said there, but the defense too, right? Let's just say, for instance, it's the 5th, it's the 6th inning right now. We get somebody on who has a hard time running. Kirk. Maybe it's Kirk, maybe it's Brandon Bell. I don't know who it is, right? It's somebody like that who just has a hard time running. We really need to score this run. We put him in, he pinch runs, he steals a bag, boom, base knock, we come around and we score. We have a 1-run, we have a 2-run lead at this point. Well, now he helps you hold on to that lead with your elite bullpen, because that's our game, folks. We are not the 2021-2022 Blue Jays of old, where we're outscoring people in a slugfest, 10-9 or anything like that. If we get engaged in a slugfest in the postseason with the Baltimore Orioles, with the Houston Astros, we're going to lose.
We are going to lose. We got to play our game,
exactly.
man.
We need to play our brand of baseball, which needs to be this kind of like, brinky dinky, little small ball, whatever.
That's the thing. It's funny. The funny thing you say is small ball. Small ball is designed to score little innings, but more.
Yes.
Right. But we can't even do that well.
No.
We got to just play that strength and play it smartly. And you got to count on the players getting the job done on the field, and you got to hope that the manager can put them in a position to get that job done and play good small ball.
I love this move by the management, and we might need to keep our eyes open a little bit for another similar move going on right now, just because some scary reports going on here with Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Time for a quick shout out to Betway. Betway is the best place to make all of your sports bets on all of your favorite teams. Betway is also in collaboration with iGaming Ontario. Must be 19 years older to participate. And guys, please bet responsibly. Now, back to the content.
I posted a video about it yesterday, folks, kind of breaking down the injury. And at the time when I released that video, I wasn't too concerned. I mean, the way that they were talking about it, they were saying that, he's a little banged up, he's a little knocked up. But, I mean, it's 150 games deep right now. Who the hell isn't, right? You've been on your body, putting in work for 150 games. Everybody's kind of banged up. But then he's out of the lineup on on Wednesday, in a must-win game against the Yankees. Right knee discomfort is what Keegan Matheson's come out and said. What are your thoughts on this, man? Or are you concerned?
First of all, to talk about the injury, I'm not that concerned. When you saw the injury, he was running down the first. He was walking gingerly. There was no snap. There was no fall to my knee. There was no limping. It was like a gimpy walk back, and then he was kind of rubbing on the bench. He didn't really go see a trainer immediately. No one checked on him. So it felt like this does feel just like a banged up situation. Now, what do I think about the whole, getting removed from the lineup and stuff? I mean, in a must-win situation, it's obviously not ideal. However, the one good thing considering, and again, this is recorded before the results of Wednesday game, you look over at the Yankees lineup and they're missing a ton of guys. They have a guy named Wells up in the 4th spot ahead of Giancarlo Stanton. So you're kind of going toe-to-toe with their offense right now, and you got 2 good pitchers on the mound in King and Gausman. So for me, it feels like a precautionary bench. Obviously, I don't like it. Maybe I would have saw a better option of putting him in a DH spot or something. Get it, because he was slated to play first base. I thought DH would have been maybe a little bit better, considering you remove that bat. The lineup looks a hell of a lot different with Kevin Biggio. Granted, he's hot in that 3 spot. So I think hopefully moving forward, hopefully by the time this video comes out, we see a lineup come out in the next few hours and he's right back there in the 3 spot.
Yeah, because we need him, man.
We do.
It's just, we're talking about a lack of pop. Guerrero has been one of the few guys who has hit a few home runs over the last few weeks. And if we're walking into postseason, we're going up against some of these squads, we need that dude in the middle of our lineup, especially without Brandon Belt. I mean, they revealed that he is going to be kind of starting a little hitting procedure, but there's no promises being made there, right? I mean, I'm still kind of on the fence as to whether he's going to even play at all with the Toronto Blue Jays for the remainder of his, tenure with us. So we need Guerrero back. And I like what you said there about the timing too, because you're getting Cole tomorrow, right? Or today for those of you who are watching. And then you do not have any off days, and you're going straight to Tropicana Field.
That's right.
Right? And that series is arguably more important than this series against the New York Yankees, just, based on the quality of opponent. So if you're going to, sit him at all, maybe today was the day.
Maybe you hope that you have one game without Guerrero versus maybe aggravating it. Maybe he's off and on the lineup. He's in the DH spot. You're forced to play him. So hopefully this is it, man.
Yeah, because worst case scenario, right? It's like you play him, you force him into it. He's playing first base. It gets worse. 10-day IL right before postseason.
Can't have that, man.
Pack it in, boys. Book your vacations right now.
We're done. We're done. And especially you might say, 10-day IL, he'll be back for the playoffs. Well, just like Brandon Belt,
for real,
you need time to get ramped up. You saw what happened with Bo Bichette. You see what happened with Matt Chapman. It takes about a week or 2. I can't be waiting until the ALDS, end of the ALDS, beginning of ALCS for my key players.
We're not
even there yet. Exactly.
If we don't have it,
exactly. So you got. I like the idea but I need him back in lineup tomorrow.
For
against
real.
Cole.
Rest up Guerrero. Get back in the lineup soon, big man, because they revealed the magic number for your Toronto Blue Jays, everybody. Single digits, folks.
Let's go.
7. That is the magic number at the time of recording this video on Wednesday night. They are literally right in the middle of the game right now. If they win this game against the New York Yankees on Wednesday night, that number drops to 6 with 9 games remaining for these Toronto Blue Jays. And we were mapping it all out. It's all very confusing.
Look at this confusing little graph right here.
It's wild, folks. There's a lot of numbers flying all over the place. But effectively, what this means is that if the Toronto Blue Jays win today, their number goes down to 6. And then if they win 6 out of their 9 games, they are locked in. That number will also drop with the loser of the Seattle and Texas series, because they play each other 7 times. So whoever loses that, if they lose like 5-2, 6-1, that just helps us even more.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, like we kind of said on the Blue Jays Today show, the worst case scenario you could have is that in that 7-game stretch, we got the Mariners and the Texas Rangers. The worst you could have happen is 4-3, because that keeps them both right there.
Yeah.
And if the Blue Jays slip up and we fall below them, they're both gonna make it into the playoff spot. So effectively, folks, we're looking over here at Texas Rangers schedule. You kind of need the Rangers to dummy these Seattle Mariners. They've already beat them 5 of 6 games so far this season, so you kind of got to beat them up. And if they could do that, that magic number will start to tick down on its own.
Yeah.
We don't even need wins for that to start ticking down. So, because right now we're just battling who's going to be below. But we don't know yet. They're too close. So, how are you feeling about that? Actually, after tonight's game, we have 10 games left. So, if we do win, it'd be 6 and 4. It'd be 6 and 4. So, how do you feel about that if we end up winning tonight's game?
That actually makes me feel a lot better. I don't know why in my brain I was thinking this was the last game of the Yankees series, but you're absolutely right. It's going to be 10 games. That just helps us out even more, man. That means that we just need to win 60% of our games. We have been capable of doing that, I think, for pretty much the entire season. So, that's definitely should be doable. What's really interesting to note as well, folks, and pun intended here, there's a little bit of a wild card going on with the division over there in the AL West, right? The Houston Astros are getting kind of dummied right now by the Baltimore Orioles. Like, shout out to Baltimore for doing some work right here, everybody. But that division is now in play. They got a 56% chance to win the division, but then you got the Mariners in there at a 31% chance, and the Rangers as well. So that just throws a wrench kind of into everything, being like, I have no idea who we're gonna play, if we make it, where we're gonna play, any of that, folks. But it's just all up in the air right now.
It is, right? Because we weren't even talking about the Houston Astros, because before they looked like they were pretty much locked into that AL West, like you're saying, that lead. But I mean, hey, all you gotta do though, Blue Jays, is focus on 7 wins as of recording this video. It could still be 7 wins after tonight, which kind of sucks. That'd be a 7 and 4. That'd be 7 and 4 stretch. Still kind of tough.
7 and 3.
7 and 3, 10 games. That's obviously a lot worse. So hopefully we got to take care of business. It looks like they're going to have an opportunity to score here. So shout out. But if we take care of business, we should be fine. And then obviously, guys, if you're fans of this show, on the Blue Jays Today show next Monday, we'll have a much bigger and clearer picture of the Blue Jays road ahead.
At this point right now, other than Minnesota, because obviously that's kind of everybody's number one target right now is the Minnesota Twins. Sorry, Minnesota Twins fans, but come on, Come on, you guys know. If it's not going to be Minnesota, who would be your number one opponent in that first wild card series? Obviously, we're just happy to be there, but who would be your next on the hit list?
Well, I mean, not considering any ranking right now, because obviously either we face Minnesota or we face Orioles or Rays at this point. That's realistically those are, because we're not going to face Texas or Mariners. We're fighting for 1 and 2, right? Or 2 and 3, excuse me. So I guess the Rays, because we've got destroyed by the Orioles, and if we're not facing the Twins, if that's not the scenario you're proposing to me, I'll take the Rays.
It's gonna have to be the Rays, man. So this upcoming series against the Tampa Bay Rays is gonna mean a lot, folks, because if we go in and we get dummied by the Tampa Bay Rays, playoffs gonna be rough.
It's gonna be a rough one, guys. But let us know in the comments down below, what do you think about Eden being called up to the big leagues? Vladimir Guerrero Jr., let us know in the comments if he's okay at this point, because we want to be okay. We want him to be okay. We need him in that lineup. And as well, talk about that wild card. Do you think, guys, we're gonna make it?
Also, please hit the like and subscribe button, everybody. $3 a month, become a Patreon member. Shout out and thank you to every single one of our current Patreon members and YouTube members as well. You guys are all freaking awesome, and we appreciate you all.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hey! and go Jays go!